Yo guys, and welcome back to another Spore creation challenge where you will offer me all sorts of varied and bizarre challenges, and I for some reason take them on board because I utterly hate my sanity. Not done one of these in quite a while, and for that I do apologise, but to bring this back, one of the challenges you guys mentioned quite a long time ago was use every single vanilla piece into a single creation. Every vanilla piece. Now I'm gonna go ahead and assume that doesn't count things like all the various heads, the various eyes, hands, feet, because if that was the case, this would look, it just wouldn't work. Trust me when I say it would not work. So for using every vanilla piece, I'm going to use every weapon and every detail part. And I think, just to be a good sport, I will try and use a couple of the eyes and sensors. Like maybe not every eye, but maybe I can use like all the noses, all the ears and such. I think that'll be pretty good. So what am I going to go with then? I think, this is going to be an absolute mess of a creation. I think the best base to start with would be some kind of centaur. As I can already see this being just like, it's just going to have so much garbage on it. I really think we're going to need a large base for us. Let's get some kind of centaur. Right, it's not going to be fantastic. It's obviously, it's a challenge. I mean, I'll try and make like somewhat of a good creation, but I can't promise it'll be brilliant. I'll make it like, I'll make it appeasing, if that's even possible. And by the way, as people always ask, to snap the legs or the limbs together like that, you hold control. You select the middle part here, the middle segment, hold control, and that's all you do. Really, really nice and easy. That already looks really special. There we go, okay. Bring it down a bit, something like that, okay. So we'll use hooves for the back legs, and we'll use, may as well, use some talons for the front legs, some kind of like weird centaur, griffin, hippogriff thing. I've got no idea. Well, that's a bit of a unflattering posture there for the legs. Right, I think that's a good enough start then. Right, what kind of head do we want to give it? I'm going to use this. I never normally use this head because I really don't like it. So I may as well use it just to get something. Actually, I think I'm kind of like chucking away the aesthetics a bit more. I'll try and put a bit of effort in. A bit of effort to make it look good. And in my opinion, the croc kisser head is the best part to customize. So we'll use that head there. So that is the base of our freaky centaur creature. One of every piece. So I guess we should go from start to finish. I'm going to start with the weapons first. So for this, let's start with, we'll give these antlers. These antlers are going to be like some kind of weird wings things. Let's try something like that. Yeah, big upside down wings. Fantastic. Well, I can make it upside down. That's actually kind of cool looking, to be honest. So we have that. The Ultra Mega Deer. I never actually noticed the name of that before. We'll have that be like some kind of like regular antlers. So maybe, let's give it the best way. Something like that, I guess. In fact, yes, I have an idea. Right. I have an idea as to how we can use this. So, let's go ahead then. Make it a bit smaller, but make it curve into each other like that. Okay. Make it a bit bigger actually, there we go. So we'll add more to that later. But we will still give it some antlers, something like that, just to extend off a bit and make it just overall a bit more larger, a bit more grandiose. Okay, cool. And obligatory, Triceratops horns. We've got to have the two horns pointing out the front here. It's already looking kind of chaotic, it's brilliant. Right, so something like that. So we've already got started with the first 4 weapon. Actually, no, I completely missed one. Whoops. Right. Let's have. Oh, in that case, there you go. It truly is a Triceratops now, like kind of a Triceratops rhino thing. In fact, some of it splits. There you go. Now you're a very scary Triceratops rhino, centaur, dragon, with a unicorn horn. Yes, absolute perfection. Right. God, I forgot how many horns there are. Okay, this one, I'll actually turn this into a tail. There we go. So now it's got this great big majestic tail, because I think it's got enough horns for now. I'm still going to use the Cornutopia. How am I going to use that? Oh, I have an idea. There's actually a really old school technique here. Was to use the this part here as like either ribs or some kind of like exoskeleton armor around the torso. If I can remember how to do it, this is like I said, really old school. You don't really see much of this anymore. So some kind of combination of this. Now, normally it'd look better if you have like more than one piece, but I'm trying to limit myself here. I only want to use like one of each part, so that way I can, you know, fit in more and more parts quicker. So that's something a bit like that going. Kind of looks like straps for a shirt. Right, so that is the top 2 rows done. Now we've got all the spitting parts. These are the parts that look absolutely hideous. Fantastic. I'm really not sure how to utilise this. Well, I know how to utilise this piece here. That could be like some kind of armour, like that, just kind of stack it in. Kind of like that. Okay, looks good. All 3 of these are really not very aesthetic. I can try turn that into a bit of a, like a hip thing going on. Maybe like that. I guess that works. It's a bit silly looking. Remove those hands there. And we'll stick this piece back there. It can be like some kind of braces, wrist guards, that kind of thing. Like that, and then chuck the hands back on either side. The game will cooperate. There we go. I'm having a really hard time like actually selecting the walls and such. There we go. I think that looks quite okay. And then we've got the final one, the Gobstalker. That I think I'll just chuck on the tip of the tail here. It's like some kind of, you know, barb or whatever. Get rid of that one over there. Okay, that works. In fact, make that really big. We can add more into that later. It could be like a really cool, goofy looking tail. Now we've got the next row of spit parts, which are even worse aesthetically. Oh god. Right, how am I going to use these? Oh crap, I'm really not sure. It's really daft, but I kind of like it. Okay. So far so good. So far, it actually doesn't look terrible. It looks very odd, but not terrible. Right, so like I said a moment ago, the hands. I'll do this little technique again then. And I will stick that part there in the back feet. Good, something like that. And just to make the back feet stand out a little bit more, we'll go ahead and like make it much larger. So something like that. That's actually pretty decent looking. That is not too bad. Okay, we got this wonderful looking piece here. I think that works nicely as like some kind of shoulder guard. I've noticed that when it comes to all these spitting and weapon pieces, all I'm really using them for is just to flip them over. Like I said earlier, you know, with the horns around the torso. But basically making like a lot of exoskeleton armour. I think it's like the only way you can really use these parts, because they're really not the most aesthetic. Some of them just look really, really dumb. This rocket launcher, it can have Shrek ears. I mean, why not? Let's just we may as well have one really silly looking piece. There you go. It's got some wonderful big ears. There you go, mate. Don't you feel good now? Yep, right. Now we have the strike parts, which some of them look really cool, and some of them just look downright stupid. What we can try to is, oh, first of all, let's make that really, really tiny for just a second. We'll stick that on top, like that. Make that bigger. We can like combine these two parts into like a bigger part together. Like that. That way it's got the texture of the spit part, but it has the spikes of the strike part. Good old bit of combination. No one said I couldn't do that. No one said it's against the rules. Okay, not gonna lie, I am loving this theme of just like all the weapon parts, all just like in various exoskeleton and natural armor. It is actually looking pretty damn cool. If I might, this actually make like a really cool style in general. You wouldn't be able to do this in vanilla Spore because like without the mods, this is far too expensive. Like I would have hit complexity cap a long time ago, which is why I'm doing the vanilla, like all vanilla parts in modded, because that way I can use all vanilla parts. That way it's actually possible. But it's too bad really, because that would make like a really, really cool theme in general. And the mace ball as well. Maybe just at the back here. But why not? I mean, where else am I putting it? May as well. Spare prize. That's always the hardest part to utilise. So, maybe I can put it up here. As part of the wings. Maybe that could be quite interesting. Let's see. Something like that. It looks a little bit... It actually looks kind of cool in a way. It's a bit silly looking, but I think it's got potential. The Reaper Mantis. Now, normally I'd have that as like some kind of... horn decorative thing, but we have enough horns as it is. I don't think it needs more horns. That being said, actually, I can use these as some kind of like mantis jaw thing. I can't think of the correct word, but that could be like some kind of like pincers. That's the word. Some mouth pincer things like that. I like that. I do like that a lot. Okay, the scimitar, that would obviously be, you know, we've got to have Velociraptor claws. I mean, come on. We have to have big claws like that. It's just required in these creations. There we go. And then that one, the Reaper Mantis. Where can I put the Reaper Mantis? I think, actually, the base of the wings are looking kind of small. So maybe I can fit them in here? It's not great looking, but I think, you know, given the challenge criteria, I think it's an okay looking thing. It's definitely not great. Right, so that is every weapon used. We've got every single weapon. Now we'll have all the details. Oh, but oh god, the wings. I just remembered it's got like, this is gonna have so many sets of wings. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright then. Right, well first things first, I'm gonna take a step back for a moment. We're gonna give it one set of eyes, like that. These could be at the back here. So we can have one set of eyes all the way to the back here, and I will hide the haycorn in the eyes. That way it's got like some kind of differently coloured eyes, like that. That was another really old school technique used in vanilla Spore. And then we can use, just again, for the sake of having more and more parts, we can use a different kind of eye here. And now that looks kind of terrifying, but it doesn't exactly look normal anyway, so it may as well look terrifying. Right, so we have that. Now we need the nurple. Where can I put the nurple? God damn these names. I will try and put that there. I guess it can be like another horn among the crest of horns. A jelly button. Where would I put? It can have some kind of like weird. What's the word? Blastoise shoulder cannons. There you go. In fact, there you go. Shoulder cannons. It's a biomech. That's what we have now. Some kind of exoskeleton biomech. Okay, the eyes are actually looking really creepy, by the way. I'm so sorry. We got a gemstone. Where can I put the gemstone? I'll put it down here, actually. We can make like some kind of loincloth thing in a bit. In fact, yes. Right, we'll have that there. Nice big gemstone. And the, what's this called again? The Reaper Mantis. We'll turn that to be as part of the big loincloth thing. Not gonna lie, that overlapping mess actually looks kind of cool. But that looks cooler. Right, so we have that. Let's just see if we can poke it out a little bit. Make it a bit bigger, a little bit more emphasized, and make it smaller. There we go. That way it's kind of like overlapping on top of everything else. Now that I do like the look of. In a weird, demented way. You know, it's close enough, isn't it? It's close enough. We've got the pom-poms. Now this is the idea I wanted earlier. So if I have that, give it a really large pom-pom. And there we go. That was the reason I wanted the big curved horns here. That way we can have the pom-pom at the centre. It'd be like some kind of the sun disc that Ra has. Like the Egyptian god, something similar to that. Again, looking really silly. I feel like we're really lacking a lot in the back here. We need to do a lot more in the back. So what can I add here? We're going to springle. Where can I put the springle? I actually think the springle would be better off suited around these arms down here. I'm actually feeling weirdly inspired the more parts I shove onto this creation. This could make a really interesting theme in general. It'd be really cluttered. But it could make like a really interesting like variety of creatures in this like kind of style. Alright, there we go. That's the springle done. Now we've got the rotten tail. Where am I going to put the rotten tail? I think I'm actually just going to chuck this here. To be honest. That way, you know, it's not like it's a weird abrupt end. That way it kind of all flows a bit better together. Kind of like that. The Fluribine, the worst part in Spore. I honestly think, like, I'd be interested to make a poll one day. I legitimately believe that the Fluribine is the least used part in all of Spore. And can you really blame it? It's just utterly useless. In fact, I never noticed this before. The Fluribine, it is actually the pop-pom with just like feathers snapped onto it. I've never noticed that. It's the same model. Like, look at that, guys. And it's actually the same damn model. I've never noticed that before. Well, I've never bothered to use the part before. Right, how am I going to use this? Okay, you know what? I have an idea. My friend, you're going to have one of those wind fan things in your hand, alright? That's what you're going to have now. It's like one of those sparklers. That's it. It's a sparkler, but as a wind fan instead. There you go. How beautiful. How pretty. Right, now we've got some gemstones. Okay, this is good. I can use the gemstones to cover up the rest of the currently very bare back. You can be some kind of exoskeleton elemental. So I have a pair of sets there. Another set poking out, probably at the base down here. There you go, kind of like that. We'll have another one around here. In fact, we'll have a better idea. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll have the final one. We'll have the final one probably up here, just to, like, you know, mix it up a bit. Actually, more like down here. I think, yeah, that would probably be better. This might look really terrible. Who am I kidding? The creation already looks terrible. You know what? It's got like the most over-the-top head crest. It may as well have the most over-the-top wings as well. Here you go, mate. There you go. Big fluffy wings. It looks like it's getting ready for war, and it's like the leader of a tribe of like really over-the-top dressers, and it looks like it's just made itself look really, really large to intimidate the opponents. To fit the whole tribal theme we have going on, we'll just stick the peacock feather at the very top. There you go. It's for intimidation display. And now we need the one single feather. Where am I going to put this one single feather? Actually, I think I'll put this one single feather down here, come to think of it. Just to decorate the whole loincloth thing going on. Because when it textures... Oh god, how am I going to texture it? Probably very brown and earthy, to be honest. I think the textures will have to be like very earthy colours. There we go. And now the feather will stand out as well. So we're nearly halfway through the details page. We need to add some grass somewhere. I have no idea how I'm going to add grass. I can add a leaf around this area too. That's really going to break up the colour scheme. Okay, some kind of leafy thing going on there, just to shove it in close enough. Followed by some flowers, just like decorate it. So now it is like a really intimidating exoskeleton elemental flower thing. It's secretly peaceful. It's like actually some kind of hippie. That's what we have going on. Where can I put anything? I think the grass part should probably go at the bottom of the wings. Considering the top half of the wings is over the top, I think we need a bit, you know, something at the bottom. Where can I put the branch to go? I think probably just, to be honest, like just in the arms, like some kind of like a marking or patterning. Kind of like this. Yeah, why not? I don't know where else to put it. Whipwicks obviously needs some good old Chinese dragon whiskers. The tail is looking awfully plain compared to the rest of the body. Can I just stick this here? There you go, something like that. Just chuck it at the bottom there. And then finally, this bit. There we go. Exactly what I was after. Hair legmites. Where would I place... Okay, you know what, mate? You can have a big, majestic mane. Because you're so awesome looking. Have some hair. That is the worst looking hair ever. In fact, I'm gonna be cheeky here. I'm gonna duplicate this one part. Unlike every other part, where I've only used one of each part, I'm gonna use this part twice. Because this wonderful creature requires a full head of hair. Which begins at the sun disk. There you go. Perfect. Absolutely perfection. Next up, we've got the Crustacean. Now that sounds like it needs, you know, it's called a crustacean. I think it needs to be among the crest. There you go, mates. Now you got some like great big, wonderful, jowy frill kind of things. Let me see. Can I just tuck it down that way? No, that actually looks really silly. Okay, we can't have that. We can't have that. But maybe we can place it here. Among all the chest ups. We haven't got much going on during around the chest, so maybe like that. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay then. Oh my god, we've still got so many parts left. This is such a nightmare. All right. What next? We have the shell shard. I think the shell shard we could probably just stick around the nose, to be honest. Give it like some little nose horn things. Speaking of which, it still doesn't have any nostrils yet. I think it'd be good to give this little guy some nostrils, don't you think? There we go. And now the nostrils are like covered in the bone plating that is the shell shard. Perfect. Okay, next up we have the Osteoflippy, one of my favourite parts in fact. The Osteoflippy, again, I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky here, and I'm gonna give it a couple of extra parts than usual. So for the Osteoflippy, I think it would make do as a really big dramatic tail. So we've got one there, something like that. That I kind of like. Awesome. Next up is the hydroxylapatite. What? Okay. You, for being so complicated, you can just be there. I'm just going to stick it. I don't know what purpose you serve. You can just stay all the way there at the back, forgotten. Cool. And next up we've got the Triceratops. Here you go. Have a friend. All the way at the back there. Now we're on to the next part of armor parts. Right. I'm getting pretty knackered of this. Okay. Next armor parts, you can just be down here, I guess. Let's put you, actually, thinking. Now these ones actually have some potential. I think I'm going to put the rock knee down there to cover up the gap. Okay, that's not happening. Right, never mind. Right. Where am I going to put these pieces? I'll put the bone tablets at the nose. This is another really old school creation technique to like give the snout a bit of a armor plating thing. I'm going to give you some really big aggressive eyebrows using the bone knee pads. If I just do that and then pull you out. Yep, there you go, like that. And then you can have, there you go, yes, big angry eyebrows. The rock knee, we can stick back here. Just slap it on. Good enough, close enough. Truly embracing the elemental side. And the nail down, where will I put the nail down among this? Actually, I'm gonna put it here. Gonna shake it up a little bit and just put it here because the wings are looking far too bare and boring. There we go. Now it's got a little bit more variety. Now we get the aquatic parts. Yay. It just keeps on going. Right. Have a shark fin. There you go, mate. I don't even care anymore. Just have a shark fin. Close enough. You got a shark fin. You've got some armpit flippers. That way you can swim. You know, underneath all of your exoskeleton armor and giant wings. Now you can swim as well. The ichthyosaur. Crap. I need that for something too, don't I? Where can I put the ichthyosaur? Why can I put anything? This is an absolute... I'm glad I went for centaur. Because imagine doing it to the bipedal or a quadruped. It would just... I don't think it would have... Well, it's obviously possible. It just would have looked even more cluttered. Right, I think I'm just going to stick these... let's remove that. Stick that instead. There you go. So now you're a Spinosaur. And we'll get the shark fin... somewhere. We'll put the shark fin part, there you go, on the arms, on the big old biceps. And now for the sporsal fin. Where am I going to put this piece? I have completely ran out of space. I'll just chuck it back here. Close enough. Like that. There you go, yep, something like that. There we go. And now we've got the 4 sets of wings. So do I really need to put wings on this? I have no idea where I'm going to put any of these wings. Okay. The cassowary wings can go on the feet. Alright. That can go there. The dragon wings can go on the front arms like that. Oh my god, that really just took it to the next level, didn't it? The foxery wings, the butterfly wings, can go on the arms. Sure. Like that. Let's just go ahead and... Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's beautiful now. Look at it, friends. It's bloomed. How is this still animating? And of course, we'll stick the big insect wings on the bone knee pads. There you go, like that. We'll make it big. There you go. So it can fly. Not really. I mean, it's got 4 sets. It's got 5 sets of wings. Maybe it can fly somehow. Right. And we've made it this far. I may as well add a bit more. For the spirit of the competition, let's see if we can stick some of these things in. I'm going to skip the noses and the eyes. I may as well add more. So let's stick... Actually, I kind of regret saying that. I've got nowhere to stick anything. Alright, let's just... I don't even know anymore. Maybe I can just chuck this part here. We may as well make the crest even more formidable. I feel like I've said that 5 times at least. We'll get that. That can go up there. Like that. I feel like this is a community creation. We haven't done one of those in a while, actually. But I definitely feel like that is what this has become. It's about the same, you know, chaos as it normally would be. You know what? I think that's enough. I don't know if I can fit these other parts on. I honestly think that right there is enough. Why do I have the feeling it's about to crash horribly? And there you have it, friends. So that is what every vanilla part, or at least every vanilla weapon, every vanilla detail part on a single creation looks like. Now, as you can imagine, yeah, this had to be modded, otherwise it would not have been possible. But I hope you understand, I still tried to follow the challenge itself. And now I just want you guys to imagine, what if I did use every head? What if I did use every hand and every foot? And every set of eyes? I hope you understand why I skipped those, because I foresaw this being absolute chaos. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. It just looks really, really freaking cluttered. Oh my god, I love the face though. At least what little you can see of the face, I kind of like that. Right then. Well guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed it. This absolute cluster of a mess. It's absolutely majestic, isn't it? If you want to think of any names for it, I mean, feel free. I would not mind using this in the future. I just remembered the little fan it's holding. Oh my god. As always, guys, if you have any ideas for any creation challenges I can do, drop them in the comments down below. I do read them frequently and often, so let me know. And as always, I will catch you all next time. Thank you for watching, hope you had fun, and have a wonderful day. Cheers.